slay enemies, earn resources, build defenses, and sabotage pyramid ships. Onslaught is our new PvE wave-based defense activity where 3 players defend the last city from increasingly difficult waves of the Witnesses' forces for some very desirable rewards. Boys, they finally did it. They're giving us a wave-based game mode. With Onslaught coming out, being just a straight ad-clear game mode, I thought it'd be nice to get prepared and talk about what I personally think is going to shine within this game mode. Being someone with many hours of Destiny, and many, many hours in tower defense games, which unironically have nothing to do with Destiny, I just like tower defense games, I think it'd be smart to just go ahead and look at builds that maybe haven't had the chance to shine in most recent content, but are going to shine and really be strong within this new wave-based game mode. Now, I personally think the 3-player mode is going to be perfectly fine, but there is the argument that we can make here to maybe make this content 4-player, make the maps a little bit bigger, and get rid of Gambit. As much as I love Gambit, they aren't really doing much with it, and I think this could be a good way for them to maybe even bridge out to other content and see what players really like. But that's enough of that. Let's get started by talking about what is probably the current strongest class in the game right now, Titans. I don't think I need to be the first person to say this, but Titans are probably going to be the king of this game mode. I mean, you put a Titan in a place where all the enemies will just funnel into you. Yeah, sounds like a Titan's dream. So let's start with the strongest build in the game, borderline broken if you ask some people, Strand Titan. I think any variation of this build will work. Syntheseps, Worm God, Abeyant Leap, the big 3. I think Infinite Suspend build is going to be strong, but if everything is dead from you just punching it in the head anyway, who cares? Just take whatever you like, slap it on your arm, and punch the ether out of the Fallen. Outside of punching the Fallen, you can also throw your hammer at the Fallen. Solar this season has been absolutely insane for every class. Titans, arguably the best. Pyrogale Gauntlets is insane. Buffing Consecration is just great. And the alt, really don't know how bosses is going to be in this. I believe they did mention that there's going to be champions. I don't think you need to alt the champions. You can literally use any other class for that if you really need it. Pyrogale is going to be overkill. But outside of Pyrogale, Hollowfire Heart and Loreleis are also there as well. I don't really think you'll need Loreleis for a game mode like this. But at the end of the day, you can use whatever you want. I mean, it's Destiny. It's kind of why most of us still play the game. The build craft is what keeps us here. I personally will be bringing Point Contact Cannon Brace. It's probably my favorite ability buff and exotic in the game. Thunderclap is one of my favorite abilities. It's honestly the main reason why I play Titan. I'm not a Titan main, I'm a Hunter main, but whenever I play Titan, I'm usually playing it for Arc. I know that this season doesn't have much stuff to benefit Arc, but again, it's Destiny. Play whatever you want. I also think Void is going to have a really good place to shine here for Titans as well. No backup plans. I've been trying to work on a build for that for a while. I think this game mode might actually be a place that can shine. It's hard to make full use out of shotguns in PvE sometimes, and that exotic really wants you to use shotguns, so being able to actually play into that fantasy of Titan, of being up in their faces, punching, and just using a shotgun in general, I think is going to be absolutely amazing for Titans in general. Give us a little bit more build craft. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually saw no backup plans be used. But, I mean, there's a lot of options out there for every class. Speaking of options, I think Warlock has the most diverse subclass picks that we have of all the classes. When it comes down to strength and potency, I think Titan primarily remains the strongest in Solar and Strand, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, even after the season passes. But Warlock has consistently had some of the strongest builds on every subclass across seasons. We have Solar, we have Void, we have Arc, even Stasis, with it being one of the worst ultimates in the game. That subclass has the ability to lock down entire rooms. But for the current sandbox, Solar. Just any Solar Warlock build will work. Trust me. But because of the game mode, I think that Phoenix Protocol is going to be really good. I mean, everybody should be sticking together to defend the one objective. And if you don't want to run Phoenix Protocol, because you don't have to, even with some of the changes they made to how easy it is to have orb generation be in the map, with 3 people in such a small arena, you're not going to have any shortage of orbs. Sunbracers is what I'm probably going to be personally running for Solar Warlock, and I think Solar Warlock is what I'm going to be running here. In the background, you can see my Osmiomancy build. I don't know if I'm going to be bringing my turret build specifically, but whatever works for Stasis for you should be, in general, just absolutely amazing in this game mode. I think a lot of things are going to be overkill in this game mode if you're not playing Legend, and even on Legend, I think it's not going to be much of a difference in the potency of what a lot of the builds are going to have here. Something that I don't think we get to see too often is full Threadlane builds. Threadlanes have always been in a very weird spot in Destiny. They've been buffed, and they're pretty good now. I think with the changes they're making to Quicksilver Storm, we're going to lose a little bit of potency on how easily Warlocks are going to have access to creating tangles. But let's be real here, Quicksilver Storm was strong, not necessarily because of its ability to always create tangles. That was just an added benefit for any class. I mean, a Hunter with Quicksilver Storm was insane because Whirling Maelstrom is really good in almost any form of content, and I'll be speaking about that when we get to the Hunter section, but just know that I actually don't think that Whirling Maelstrom is going to be the strongest build for Hunters. For Warlocks, even if you don't want to run Thread Lanes, there is the access to Necrotic Grips and any of the Weapons of Sorrow. That build is really strong. It's kind of similar to Stasis Warlock in the ability to lock down a map, just in a different way. You know, everything is tangled and brought up into the air, not frozen. I personally am going to be bringing Stasis Warlock to this game mode. I think it's going to shine more in the Legend content, and if I'm not running Legend, I'm probably still going to run it, just because, honestly, it's pretty fun, and the Ultimate has a little bit more use in non-Legend content. Outside of Stasis, I do think I'm also going to bring Void Warlock. Controverse Hold has been a continuously strong exotic for Void Warlocks, and I haven't had the chance to actually try out a Briarbinds build yet. That is something I am going to be working on. The only problem is with how quickly enemies are going to be moving. I'm not sure if Controverse Hold is going to be able to be as effective here. But with the map that we're getting with it, I think there's going to be a lot of corridors that you could throw a grenade in, forget about it, and by the time you throw the next grenade, most of the ad should be cleared for you, and you're good to continue. For Hunters, I want to keep this part quick. I'm probably going to be bringing Void or Stasis Hunter. I think Orpheus Rig is going to be the best support build for this game mode. Orpheus Rig is just going to be able to keep your super up constantly, and even if you don't want to run Orpheus Rig, Gerfalcons is still going to be a great contender. I mean, hopefully the ad density is going to be enough to keep Volatile procced constantly, and I don't think we're going to have that problem. Stasis Hunter, Dust Field Grenades. Warlock has infinite lockdown on the map. Hunters can keep infinite mini Titan bubbles, basically, with their Dust Field Grenades. I don't really think I need to explain much else here. I'm a Hunter main. I don't want to dwell on this part too long, but Tower Defense in Destiny is going to be an absolutely strong place for a lot of builds to shine, and those builds that want you to stay less mobile are going to be the best ones here. And that's why I think Strand Hunter is not going to be the strongest build here. There is still a lot of options, but I just don't think it's going to be the strongest. Outside of the subclasses, we also have weapons to think about here. Forbearance with Chain Reaction is going to be the strongest weapon probably for this game mode, and we're getting another variation of it with the release of this. We're getting the Forbearance in the Brave Arsenal. Was it needed? Probably not, but it's there. If you don't want to bring Forbearance, there's also Explosive Personality. I run that with Golden Tricorn. On any solar class you're running, you should be able to keep that up constantly. On top of that, Volt Shot, Incandescent, or anything that applies Volatile is just going to be really good here. Anything that also is running Rampage, Kill Clip, Multi-Kill Clip, Killing Tally, in general, LMGs too are going to be really good here. LMGs are great in any ad clear content, and that's why they're brought in typically for raids for the person on ad clear. And I think it's going to be the same exact thing here. There's no reason not to bring an LMG if you have access to a good one. I personally didn't want to mention a lot of the new weapons coming. Those are going to be shown throughout a lot of videos that are going to come and a lot of builds. And I think Hammerhead is going to be one of the best LMGs we've had in a while. I mean, Rampage and Killing Tally is absolutely amazing. Outside of that, I think the community is going to be very happy with this update. A lot of people are saying it's going to be better than any season we've had. And I understand that viewpoint. But until the update comes out, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But until Tuesday, I'll just be waiting until that comes out. So I'll see you all then. Until next time.